Hello and welcome back to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball live here from Alumni Field rather. My name is Charlie Brigham, alongside me Ryan Buchmann, and we have a wonderful one for you today, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful 71 degrees, sunny skies. It's a beautiful weather day and a beautiful day for some softball, Ryan.
Yeah, very beautiful day. Got that wind just starting to creep in here into the booth and kind of carrying out into center field right now. So definitely going to have probably going to see the ball carry a little bit today out there. So I'm going to guess there's going to be a lot of pretty interesting innings, to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely. Today's matchup, the number 18th ranked nationally Michigan Wolverines facing off against the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Wolverines obviously just clinched the Big Ten regular season title for the third consecutive season. Looking to close out this regular season on a hot note, but here we go. And we are just about ready to go. We'll give you the quick lineup for Rutgers. It's going to be Linkovich, Callaway, Bach with Stanley, Workman, Fawcett, Iliopoulos, Hockla-Tooby, and Lane. And Ashley Hitchcock will be on the mound for the Scarlet Knights. For Michigan, left to right in the infield is Bump, Rodriguez, Jimenez, and Lou Allen. Left to right in the outfield is Voss, Blair, and Hoganrod. And on the bump is Megan Beaubien. First pitch on the way. This one swung on and popped up in the infield. Covering a lot of ground to get up to it is Jimenez. Lost it in the sun for a second, but reels it in. So one pitch, one out. Wonderful efficiency from Megan Beaubien so far.
That's how she kind of works. She kind of works pretty quick and simple. Doesn't try to fuss around too much there at the plate. So we're going to keep seeing that probably, especially in this first inning.
So after the one pitch, one out, that is going to bring up Gabrielle Callaway. Callaway, a senior in this lineup, a veteran presence, a .286 hitter on the season, standing in that left-handed batter's box. First one swung on and chopped into the dirt right behind the plate, and then rolls into fair territory, but going to continue onward. It's going to be an 0-1 count for Beaubien when she steps back in. Megan Beaubien this year has been just absolutely wonderful. Looking at her stats, just a 1.25 ERA and 123 and plus a little bit innings pitched. I mean, she's been unstoppable.
Yeah, 0.894 whip right now.
Pitch number 2, the rise ball just goes a little bit high and outside, so Callaway is going to even out the count, 1-1. Infield and outfield playing pretty much straight up. The wind has died down a little bit that Ryan mentioned, so no use to play too deep. The 1-1 from Beaubien, changeup, just misses on the corner. That one looked good. The infield wanted it, so count's going to be 2-1 for Callaway when she steps back in.
Yeah. Megan Beaubien doesn't get too flustered when falling behind. I think she is able to work the strikes onto her advantage late in the count.
The freshman Kayla Bach over there in the on-deck circle. The 2-1 on the way, swung on, and soft liner to shortstop. Natalia Rodriguez using her speed. Plenty of time to get to that one. So 2 up and 2 down for Beaubien, and Rutgers going to have to try to put something together with 2 outs here.
Yeah, nothing really hit too hard right there. It was very simple, effective pitches. And she got a little bit of a jam job that made that a little bit easier.
Yeah, as you said, that pitch rode high and inside. Beaubien doing a nice job not letting these Rutgers hitters have anything they can drive. So fresh count to the 3-hitter on the way. First pitch rides a little high, ball 1. Kayla Bach, as I mentioned, a freshman hitting .213 on the season from Coatesville, Pennsylvania. The 1-0 on the way. Corner's playing up a little bit. Change up, check swing. They're going to check on down to first base. She said she didn't go. First base umpire Deanna Hunt made the right call there. She clearly didn't fire all the way through, so it's going to be a 2-0 hitter's count for Kayla Bach when she steps back in. Over in the on-deck circle is Kirsten with Stanley, the catcher. The 2-0. This one, big swing, chop back into the net, strike 1.
Even with a lower average, there's definitely a possibility they're going to make so far what we've seen today, these first 2 at-bats have been pretty much contact that's been in play. Not a lot of foul balls as of late. Or early, I should say, early on.
2-1 from Bobby, and this one change-up floats out of her hand a little high. She taps the chest signal into hand to Carson. That one's my bad. That one well outside the zone. So Bach is going to have a hitter's count. It'll be 3-1. Bach has some power, 1 home run, 1 triple, and 7 doubles on the season. 9 extra base hits out of her 19 total. This one swung on and hit, fouled down the line off the net. The count's going to go full.
Yeah, she only has 1 home run on the year, but still got to be able to put your pitches where you want them here, especially in a 3-2 count. Usually with the 213 hitter, you like to play around a little bit and see if you'll get a lower average hitter to chase, but so far right now, it's very disciplined at the plate.
Full count, 2 outs, changeup swung on. Soft line drive into foul territory, and Taylor Bump covering ground. Megan Bobien doing a great job of not giving Bach anything to hit. The senior just toying with the freshman up there at the plate. So that's going to be 3 up and 3 down. And that is going to bring us to the bottom half of the first inning. Rutgers goes scoreless and without a base runner. Megan Bobien perfect in her first inning of work.
Yeah, nothing too nothing too big to hit right there in that inning, and nothing got out of the infield. So far, I think Megan looks pretty all in the zone right now, and probably going to end up, I think, going pretty deep in this game as the looks of it.
So with Bobien doing the work on the defensive half, it's going to bring up the lineup for the first time for the Wolverines. Give it to you real quick. Batting first is Lexi Blair. Batting second, Natalia Rodriguez. In the 3-hole, Lou Allen. Hitting cleanup, Taylor Bump. Hitting fifth is Hannah Carson. Sixth, Julia Jimenez. In the 7-hole, it's going to be Lexi Voss, followed up by Lauren Essman batting eighth, and rounding out the lineup is Haley Hoganrod. So Michigan going to look to get active early. Lexi Blair still in that top spot with .414, the batting average. In the circle, as we mentioned earlier, Ashley Hitchcock, a 5.54 ERA and 31 appearances so far this season.
Yeah, and when Lexi gets on base, she's very potent to be on the base paths because she is pretty quick, and she likes to be very aggressive there on the base paths as well.
Hitchcock, not too much of a strikeout pitcher, only 81 in 121 innings. It's really just crazy and shows the dominance of this Michigan pitching staff. Just looking at the 2 stat lines, Hitchcock 121 give or take innings pitched with 81 strikeouts. Bobien 123 with 177 coming into this one.
It's just amazing stats, really, and stuff that you would see definitely in one of the top countries in America right now.
So Lexi Blair stepping up to the plate for the first time today. Middle of the infield playing back. Corners playing up with anticipation of a bunt, but first pitch catches the outside corner. Lexi watches it go by. That's been a trend for Michigan so far this year. Not really being too aggressive on that first pitch. Just kind of waiting for theirs and looking for something they can drive. And Lexi Blair, when she gets a hold of one, you know it can go.
Yeah, it's nice to see early on what a pitcher's going to deal.
Pitch number 2, pretty similar, but just misses outside, so count's going to even out to 11.
You can definitely tell with a lot of the signals there from the batters for Michigan this year, doesn't show any type of nervousness, any type of uncertainty. They're pretty certain, I would say, when they're at the plate.
Pitch goes high and outside. Blair showed bunt for a second, but pulled back. Corners charge, so it's going to be 2-1 for Lexi Blair when she steps back in. Ashley Hitchcock struggling a little bit this year, only a 5-14 record. Rutgers, as a team, really struggling, 8-32. The 2-1 changeup goes way high, so hitters count for Blair when she steps back in. It'll be 3-1.
It's a good hitters count. That would definitely look for something. I'm guessing it's going to be away to the left-handed hitter.
3-1 to Blair. Big swing and a miss. Comes up empty, so it's going to be 3-2. Lexi Blair, she's in that leadoff spot for a reason. Great speed and good power up there. She's textbook leadoff hitter. Is going to hit for contact. In the on-deck circle is Natalia Rodriguez. 3-2 to Blair. This one pop backwards into the nets. We're going to do it again. Rodriguez, as I said, in the on-deck circle. Lou Allen sitting in the dugout in the hole.
Best thing you do as a batter early in the game is definitely make the pitchers throw as many pitches as possible to kind of wear them out and kind of make them think a little bit more what they're throwing.
3-2 to Blair. This one, again, popped up foul. This one over the net and into the stands. Over towards an elderly couple sitting over there. Fans in limited attendance, obviously, with COVID-19 protocols, but the ones that are here, they've got a great day. Like I said, 70 degrees, sun shining. Beautiful day for some softball and some baseball as the Michigan softball team faces off against Indiana over there at Ray Fisher Stadium. 3-2 to Blair is hit hard towards the Michigan dugout. Foul again. Lexi's doing a nice job of just extending this at bat, making Hitchcock throw pitches.
Sometimes as a batter, you also kind of have to stay disciplined when you're at the plate, even though you've kind of worked the pitcher a lot here in the count. You really have to stay disciplined and know what they're going to throw next.
Blair really good at that. Only 6 strikeouts on the season. Really good just putting the ball in play. This one hit hard right up the middle, and that one's going to get down into the gap. She's going to leg it out for 2. Can't get it in time. That's going to be a stand-up double in the gap for Lexi Blair, and a great start for this Wolverines team.
Just how fast she is on the base paths. You know, that's a double. That was a stand-up double. There wasn't even any chance they were going to try to get her out.
The second baseman, Taylor Lane, laid out for that one. Couldn't quite get there in time, and like you said, just really aggressive base running from Lexi Blair. You knew she wanted 2 as soon as she came out of the box.
Yeah, even with those fielders playing slightly deeper, still didn't make a difference.
Corners playing up. Wouldn't be surprised to see Rodriguez lay down a bunt. She showed for a second, but that one high and outside, pulls back, ball 1. Lexi Blair, obviously with her speed, could score from second base on a hit to the outfield, but be all the more helpful to get her over to third base. You know, Coach Carol Hutchins loves to play small ball.
Oh, absolutely.
Llewellyn has now moved into the on-deck circle. Linkavage and Callaway playing up. This one, strike right down the middle, but pops out of the glove of the catcher with Stanley. So Blair takes third base standing up. Now it would be interesting to see what Michigan does here. Do they play for the squeeze, or do they let Rodriguez swing away and try to put one through the infield?
I think you swing away in this case. You got the runner here early in this game at third. I think you kind of have to swing away, and knowing that they're going to have to try to throw something close.
1-1 to Natrod. This one swung on and popped up foul over towards the broadcast booth. Did it make it inside? That is the question. Looks like it did. Through the window of the broadcast booth over to our left.
My times at the baseball games in past years as a Tiger fan, I've still not been able to catch a baseball yet.
1-2 to Rodriguez. Check swing. That one well above her head. They're going to peel down to first base. First base umpire Deanna Hunt making the right call again. Natalia Rodriguez kind of fired the hips, but the bat didn't move too much, so 2-2 count working this at bat well. Lexi Blair over there on third.
I feel like this is going to be away right here.
2-2 from Hitchcock. This one swung on, hit hard in the gap between left and center field. Rodriguez is going to go for 2, playing it off the wall. That's going to be back-to-back stand-up doubles for the Wolverines. And they've got Hitchcock's number so far.
That was about as simple of a swing you could possibly get, and it looked about as easy of a swing that you could possibly get. And it definitely paid off right there. 2 back-to-back doubles to start this game. That's a great way to start your day off in the batter's box.
Natalia Rodriguez, only a .248 hitter on the season, but you know, an experienced hitter, and you leave a ball over the plate like that, she's going to drive it, and did just that. So Michigan out to an early lead here. No outs, a runner now on second base, and a 1-0 lead. So we're going to have a quick meeting out there on the mound.
It's definitely seemed like Hitchcock was not too settled right now. She's her pitchers are all over the place, and some of them have been hanging over the plate, and that's usually danger for a coach. have to actually go out to the mound and talk things over. Make sure things don't get out of hand.
Overall, this Rutgers team, pretty young. Coaching staff, pretty young as well. Head coach Kristen Butler, the most experience with this team in her 3rd season. Both assistants, Natalie Yonan and Bryn Dortle, both in their 1st seasons. So with Natalia Rodriguez on second base, that's going to bring up Lou Allen. Fresh count to her on the way. First pitch, she loaded up but watched it go by. Ball 1.
You definitely I thought she was going to take a big swing right there. First pitch, but as you said, this Michigan team definitely holds off on the first pitch of the at-bat. Very disciplined.
Good speed on second base with the 1-0. This one hit hard towards third base. They fire over to first. And Rutgers tallies the first out. Lou Allen hit that ball hard, and Rutgers made the great play defensively.
Yeah, I just got on top of that one. It was a little bit low, so those are the pitcher's pitches right there, inside and low. And definitely get ground balls most of the time, if not all the time.
So Rutgers escapes one of the more dangerous pieces in this Michigan lineup. Lynn Cabbage did the right play and looked at Tyra Rodriguez back to second base, so she hasn't moved. First pitch to Bump is way high. So 1 out, runner still in scoring position over there on second base, and that brings up Taylor Bump. Bump, a .312 hitter on the season, 21 RBIs. We've really seen Bump come into her own this year as the 1-0 is watched as it goes right down Broadway, called strike 1. Bump, 8 home runs this season, second only to Lou Allen.
Yeah, and definitely got a lot of power, and definitely it's been able to drive in many runs this year for the Wolverines.
1-1 from Hitchcock on the way. This one rides inside, ball 2.
Of course, you look around the entire lineup. I mean, everyone's contributed in some sense, one way or another, which makes this team very well-rounded right now.
Rodriguez taking some decent secondary leads over there. As Hitchcock sets up for the 2-1. This one high again. Check swing not going to go, so Bump's going to have a hitter's count. It's going to be 3-1. Hannah Carson over there in the on-deck circle. I mean, we've seen from those first 2 at-bats with Lexi Blair and Natalia Rodriguez, you don't really need to hit the ball crazy hard if you just put it in the right spot.
Exactly.
3-1 to Bump. Change up down the middle. Great pitch from Hitchcock. It's going to be called strike 2.
Yeah, not much you can do there. About pretty much inside. That's probably another ground ball if she swings. If not, a hard line drive.
So full count, 1 out. Runner on second base. The full count delivery. This one swung on and popped up in the infield. That one headed right towards the shortstop, Workman, who makes a nice play. So that's going to be 2 outs. Hitchcock looking to get out of this one with minimal damage. Hannah Carson's going to step to the plate with 2 outs, but still a runner on second base. Michigan holds a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of 1.
Yeah, Hitchcock's definitely come back to these 2 batters and definitely been able to put them away pretty easily. And so far, she's been able to keep that ball inside in a place where they can't swing.
Fresh count to Carson. Pitch number 1 misses low and outside, ball 1.
That one was low and outside, so what I've seen so far, a trend is to the lefties, she's trying to keep pretty much away a lot, and to the righties inside.
The 1-0 called a strike at the knees. Rodriguez took a few hard steps like she was going to take third, but held up at second base. Wouldn't be surprised to see her try to take third base straight up, test the arm with Stanley behind the plate.
I've seen these past 3 batters, so probably wouldn't be surprised to swing and hit and run here.
1-1 to Carson, watches it go by. Michigan's done a really nice job of just being disciplined up there at the plate and knowing where the strike zone is. I mean, this is only their first time through the order, but it seems like they've got a pretty good hold on it.
Yeah, definitely doing your homework on your pitcher.
2-1 hit hard up the middle, and that one gets through. Rodriguez rounding third. There's going to be a play at the plate. Just kidding. The center fielder came up. Aquatubi
thought better of it.
fielded like a do-or-die kind of play and decided that Rodriguez was too far gone. So Michigan tallies a second run here. Taylor Bump, or Hannah Carson rather, with the RBI.
Yeah, that's someone not as confident in their arm, really, and not wanting that ball to get away and have another Michigan runner at second or third.
Hannah Carson, great piece of hitting there, working that at bat, and not being phased by that count. That's her 14th RBI of the season, and that's going to bring up Julia Jimenez with Carson over there on first base. Michigan putting together 2-out rally here. They're up 2-0 in the bottom of the first inning. Lexi Voss in the on-deck circle. 1-0 to Jimenez. Strike one at the knees. Count's going to even out to 1-1.
Yeah, you've seen some glimpses that some of these pitches haven't been too bad. I mean, they're just the ones that are just being left over the plate. They're just not being they're being taken care of by Michigan pretty easily. They're not wasting them.
Jimenez swings on this one. Soft line drive over towards second base. It's going to be a close play and fires it over to first base. Taylor Lane doing a nice job. Hannah Carson tried to get in the way of it, but to no avail. So we're going to head to the top of the second inning, but not before the Wolverines put 2 up on the board. You are listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball live from Alumni Field. As the announcer states that Michigan obviously in support of the fight against breast cancer and shows up on the board that raised $87,000 this year and $1.3 million total. Obviously, great cause, and Michigan in support wearing the pink uniforms today. Pink jerseys with blue writing and blue pants. Rutgers over there in the gray tops and gray pants, red socks.
These are kind of those cool games where not only are you doing something for a good cause, you always get to see these nice looking jerseys out there as well.
Between innings, take a quick look over there at Ray Fisher Stadium where the Michigan baseball team facing off against Indiana. Megan Beaubien out there in the circle as Hannah Carson throws down, and good pick there by Natalia Rodriguez at second base. Looks like we're just about set to go here in the top of the second inning. Due up for Rutgers, it's going to be 4-5-6 with Stanley, Workman, and Fawcett, followed by Iliopoulos, Hawk-Latubi, and Taylor Lane to round out the first half through. With Stanley, the cleanup hitter is going to lead off this inning, a .235 hitter on the season. The sophomore from Freehold, New Jersey. She swings on this first one and pops it up foul over the net. Beaubien out to an early lead here, 0-1.
So far, no problem for Megan Beaubien. Definitely seems settled in and been able to attack the hitters right away.
Advantage Beaubien. The rise ball misses high. Count's going to even out 1-1. Beaubien going to look to go after with Stanley here. Has struggled a little bit with the strikeout this season, 16 total. One of the higher on the team.
Where she definitely can steal a base if she gets on as well.
1-1, swung on and hit back into the net. Beaubien back out in front, 1-2. Outfield playing straight up. The wind has picked up a little bit, but nothing too crazy. Kind of blowing out towards right center. Fans out there in the grandstands have a nice breeze.
Yeah, the Beaubien's pitches have seemed like are catching a little bit more speed today, it seems.
1-2, rise ball rises a little bit too high, so it's going to be 2-2.
Of course, no one's been able to get fooled by the rise ball yet today, though.
Hannah Carson doing a nice job facilitating back there behind the plate. Kirsten with Stanley steps back in, the 2-2 on the way. This one rises high again. It's going to be a full count with Stanley doing a nice job showing discipline up there. As you hear some cheers and jeers from the Rutgers dugout, trying to get things going, doing everything they can to help their hitters. Full count pitch is hit hard on the line towards third base. Bump rifles it across the diamond. Great play. That one, had it made it through, had potential to be a double with the speed of Stanley, but Bump doing a nice job fielding that one to her backhand, setting the feet, and firing over there to Lou Allen, who made a nice stretch for out number 1.
Man, just making that look easy. That was a heck of a strike to first. So great arm by Taylor Bump to try to get that there in time.
Kiana Workman up to the plate now. Senior hitting .222 as she watches pitch number 1 go by. A beautiful changeup called for a strike right at the knees. Beaubien just absolutely froze her there.
Definitely fielders are playing a little bit more relaxed right now.
0-1 to Workman, check swing. That one rises high. Count's going to even back out 1-1.
Sometimes some of the best games as a defender, you're not really having to play many different shifts in the outfield. Of course, as I say, that center fielder shifts slow over to the center field gap.
1-1 on the way to Workman. This one, strike at the knees right down Broadway. Beaubien not messing around with anything off speed there. Just pumped that one into the glove. So now she's back out in front. 1-2 is the count. 1 out, no runners on.
Only 25 pitches so far, I believe.
Rutgers still looking for their first base runners. Pitch number 4 of this at-bat. Changeup got Workman way out in front. Just able to put a bat on it and dribble it foul. Workman way out. All of her weight was on that front foot. Beaubien wipes off the hand and settling back in now. Checks the wristband. On the same page as Carson now to the windup. The 1-2. Swing and a miss.
Wow.
Great pitch.
Just froze her. Such a quick pitch, and definitely when you get a ball up and in, you definitely are just swinging. There's no really way to try to hold up.
Beaubien just blew the rise ball past her. Workman couldn't keep up. That is going to bring up Taylor Fawcett. Going to try to get something going here with 2 outs. Pitch number 1, a changeup. Just misses low. Carson tried to frame it, but to no avail.
You haven't seen too many pitches of a changeup so far from Megan Beaubien.
Fawcett struggling at the plate this season, hitting only .156. Beaubien delivers the 0-1, or the 1-0 rather. This one popped up into foul territory, and Lou Allen coming over there to catch that one in the air. So another 3 up and 3 down. 6 Rutgers hitters have stepped up to the plate, and all 6 have went back to the dugout. We're going to head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Score still sits. Wolverines 2, Scarlet Knights nothing. You are listening to WCBN Sports. Michigan going to look to go back out in the offensive attack. It's going to be 7, 8, 9. Voss, Essman, Hoganrod due up first for the Wolverines. After those, it's going to be the top of the order again. Lexi Blair and Natalia Rodriguez. The 2 hits for Michigan in this one, or 2 of 3 hits in this one for Michigan, both with stand-up doubles to the right field gap and the left field gap, respectively.
Definitely. There's not really a weak part in the lineups, really. Even from 7 through 9, they're still pretty potent at trying to put the ball in play.
Yeah, it's been a great strength of this Michigan team this year is that consistency all the way through the lineup. You know, usually you kind of try to hide some hitters somewhere in the lineup and surround them with some better bats, but there's nobody really in this Michigan lineup that you could look at and say, you know, you have to try to hide them. Everyone can drive the ball and everyone can hit the ball hard.
Yeah, none of them are afraid to do it either. There's no hesitation we've seen thus far from the batters, and actually, even in the games they've lost, a few they lost, they've still been very committed at trying to be aggressive.
Lexi Voss stepping up to the plate now. We were talking a 275 hitter sitting over there in that right-handed batter's box. She awaits the first pitch of this inning from Hitchcock. This one just below the knees, ball 1. Home plate umpire Brian Smith doing a nice job calling the game so far. I mean, strike zones look pretty consistent and pretty good.
It's usually what you want. How's your
1-0 from Voss popped up, and they lost it in the
Whoa.
sun. She reaches safely. That one, awkward little play. Taylor Lane, the second baseman, didn't move at all, and that ball just dropped right in front of her. So,
well, you could see it. That sun was starting to peek out of the clouds right as that got popped up. I mean, the sun's pretty much just almost directly in her field of vision.
Lane wearing sunglasses over there at second base. Not even those could help. So, Lexi Voss gets lucky there. Michigan has a base runner on, and that's going to bring up Lauren Essman.
Sometimes usually lose the ball in the lights when it's dark out and you have a night game, but not there.
Essman swings on the first pitch. Soft blooper over the third baseman's head, and she's going to reach safely. Back-to-back infield singles for Michigan. Essman swinging at the first pitch and putting it in fair territory. Michigan, the bottom of the order, getting it done.
A lot of good swings so far, and a few pitches that just got a little too much of the plate at the same time, but Michigan just does not worry about that. They're in anywhere near their plate, they're swinging, and they're swinging with the purpose.
Michigan in a great position to tack some more runs on. 2 runners on, 1 in scoring position with no outs. Barring a triple play, we would see the top of the order come up again. First pitch to Hogenrod is laid down for a bunt. Michigan doing a great job, just textbook there from Carol Hutchins. Runners now on third and second. Hogenrod, great sack bunt to get 2 runners in scoring position now with Lexi Blair stepping to the plate. And if I'm Michigan, there's nobody else that I would rather have up there than Lexi Blair right now.
And you know, what Hutchins was thinking there is that I don't want anyone to hit and do a double play, so I'm just going to give them an out right now so I have women in scoring position.
First pitch, called a strike right at the belt for Lexi Blair. The infield all playing up, playing in run prevention mode. Corners way up. Middle of the infield about even with the baselines. 0-1 to Lexi. This one swung on and hit softly over towards the Rutgers dugout. So she's now in a bigger hole. Hitchcock way out in front, 0-2.
I always like to think of the game of softball and baseball as a game where you got to think two steps ahead of your opponent, and that's the best way you're going to win the game. And that's what Carol Hutchins was doing there with trying to get the bunt on down there.
The 0-2, and catches her looking. Lexi Blair in a very rare strikeout. Hitchcock caught the outside corner there. Great pitch, and as we mentioned her last time up, Lexi Blair, that's only her 7th strikeout of the season. And even more rarely you see her strike out, you see her strike out looking.
Yeah. And that's when the bunt sometimes doesn't pay off as much because you hope your next batter can be able to put it in play.
Talia Rodriguez stepping up now, swings on the first pitch and hits it towards left field and right into the glove of Iliopoulos. So Rutgers, after letting the first 2 on, gets the next 3 and escapes that inning without giving up any more runs. We're going to head to the top of the 3rd inning. Michigan leaves 2 runners stranded, but they still hold a 2-0 lead here.
And you kind of look at that last inning. Some might question why you'd bunt with first and second with no one out. Why wouldn't you try to swing away? But I think that's just the confidence in the Michigan hitters for Carol Hutchins this year.
Yeah, obviously, you know, Coach Carol Hutchins loves to play small ball, and you know, if you're a Michigan fan, that's the right play in my book.
Yes, it is.
But that is going to bring up Rutgers here, trying to get some of those runs back here in the top of the 3rd inning. It's going to be 7, 8, 9 due up. It's going to be Anissa Iliopoulos up first, followed by Haley Hockla-Tooby. And then rounding out the first half through is going to be Taylor Lane before heading back up to the top of the order. So 7, 8, 9 due up for Beaubien. She sat down the first 6, looking to do that again with the next 3.
Yeah. No problem so far for her. 6 up, 6 down, and I have not seen really one ball come out of the infield yet today, so that's a good sign as a pitcher.
This game, the first of a 4-game weekend series between these two teams. 1 tonight, 2 tomorrow, both of which I will be covering alongside Jared Greenspan. And then 1 more on Sunday. Megan Beaubien obviously appearing in this one. We'll, I would say, most likely see Alex Storako at some point tomorrow. But here we go. Fresh count to Iliopolis. No outs. Swings on the first pitch and pops it up over our heads and back out of the stadium, getting aggressive on that first pitch.
That was a nice swing, too. Even though it wasn't put in play, it was a nice, purposeful swing and a smart swing at the same time when you are been having a hard time trying to put the ball in play.
And as Iliopolis has really struggled at the plate this season, she swings on pitch number 2 and hits it in that same exact spot backwards over the booth. Iliopolis only 19 hits in 103 at-bats for a 184 batting average.
Yeah, a couple good swings, just not quite been able to make full contact with the ball right now. And that's a large part to Megan Beaubien being able to be a little sneaky here.
0-2 from Beaubien. This one again popped up over our heads. They're going to be running out of softballs real quick if this at-bat continues any further.
It's a different approach so far, what I've seen this inning from Rutgers, is being able to swing early to try to put something in play, knowing that Michigan, with their aggressive hitting, you kind of have to do the same thing.
0-2 from Beaubien on the way. This one swung on again and popped up into the stands. This one stays in the stadium, thankfully, this time. Iliopolis doing a great job of just fighting these pitches off, waiting for something she can drive.
I don't know if you're allowed to keep the softballs, but I know there's a lot of people. Yeah, I can see there's an attendant trying to grab all the softballs right now. So
0-2 from Beaubien on the way. This one low and in the dirt, went for the off speed. Iliopolis not fooled. So first ball of this at bat. Count's going to be 1-2. Beautiful weather has brought some familiar faces to the stadium. Coach Jawan Howard down there in attendance.
Looking pretty relaxed as always.
1-2 from Beaubien on the way. Changeup got her
Ooh.
swinging. Way out in front of it was Iliopolis. Didn't want anything to do with it. So after a long drawn-out at-bat, Beaubien finally gets the best of her for out number 1. That will bring up the center fielder, Haley Hoklatubi.
Yeah, after throwing some very quick pitches, she caught her off guard with a changeup. Perfect pitch. That's as textbook as it gets as a pitcher.
Hoklatubi, a .215 hitter on the season, shows bunt on the first pitch. Called strike at the knee. She pulled back, wanted it low. Michigan defenders all over that one. Taylor Bump and Lou Allen charging on the corners. Natalia Rodriguez and Julia Menez covering to the corners. Lexi Blair creeping in to potentially cover second base. This pitch number 2 goes high and outside, ball 1.
You can see them playing in because so far today Rutgers has rarely been able to make strong contact with the ball, and most of them have gone straight down the line.
1-1 is the count on the way from Beaubien. Hoklatubi shows bunt again, but pulling back. 2-1 is the count. Beaubien struggling to hit her spots here.
When you're looking just to get on base, you definitely put a few bunt calls right out there to try to fool the pitcher or to also catch the infield off guard. But playing in, I don't think it's going to do much good.
2-1 right down Broadway, called strike 2. So the count even back out. Beaubien no longer at a disadvantage here. Corners move back, and so does the middle of the infield. Still cognizant of a bunt, but not really anticipating it too much here with 2 strikes. This one swung on and chopped back into the net foul.
She's definitely got a rhythm going where she does kind of her habits, you know, just kind of step back in, kind of step up, and then fly away right there. Try to pitch it back in.
9-hitter Taylor Lane over in the on-deck circle. 2-2 from Beaubien on the way. This one hit towards center field, covering a lot of ground, and that one's going to drop. Lexi Blair couldn't get there in time, so Rutgers finds their first hit of the afternoon and their first base runner as well. Hoklatubi works that at bat.
Yeah, and the costly advantage of playing in is if that happens, you don't have much of a shot to try to get the pop-up.
Yeah, that ball not too far out of the outfield. Just kind of dropped into no man's land. And like you said, Had Natalia Rodriguez or Julia Menez been playing back at regular depth, they probably could have covered some ground and gotten to that ball. Both of them have decent speed, but Rutgers in a good spot here now. 1 out, 1 runner on. Taylor Lane shows bunt, gets it down the first baseline. Llewellyn throws it over to first. Routine play, but Rutgers puts a runner in scoring position now. Taylor Lane steps up and does her job. That's going to bring up the top of the order, Peyton Linkavage.
Yeah, and if I'm Megan Bovey, and I'm not too concerned about that runner at second, even though she has potential to steal, I think right now your goal is to just get the next batter out at the plate.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. So it's going to be fresh count with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. First pitch changeup. Carson drops down to her knees and blocks that one. Nice job there.
Yeah, it's the first time that Megan Bovian's truly missed by a good chunk right there, but it was a good stop there by the catcher.
First time up, Linkavage popped up. 1-0 count. This one just misses the outside corner. Carson held it for a second, but rifles it back. So it's going to be a 2-0 hitters count. Great spot to be in if you're Peyton Linkavage. Runner on second base, and Pakatubi has some wheels.
Yeah, a lot of good catchers like to frame it, and those are always some of the best catchers as well. This is how they frame it.
2-0 is swung on and popped up in the infield again. Jimenez trying to block the sun with her glove, and she does. Nice job there. Not letting the sun play her as it did Taylor Lane last inning. So Michigan escapes unscathed. We're going to head to the bottom of the third inning. Wolverines still up 2-0. Michigan going to look to go back out on the offensive attack here after putting up 2 in the first inning, went scoreless in the second.
Michigan baseball, of course, right now has a 1-0 lead on Indiana in the top of the third off of I believe it was a home run by Ethan Vikruba. Or, no. Is that it? No, sorry. But I think it was Ted Burton, actually.
It's a great view up here from the press box at Alumni Field. I mean, you look straight across, literally just past the center field fence, and you get to look into Ray Fisher Stadium. Between the innings, get a little bit of a glimpse of baseball. But enough about that. Let's get back to the game. Lou Allen is going to be the first Wolverine due up. It's 3-4-5. Lou Allen, Taylor Bump, and Hannah Carson rounding out the first 3. Allen grounded out her first time up. Hannah Carson, the only one of those 3 with a hit. She had a single in her first time up. Ashley Hitchcock settling back in now after giving up 2, like I said, held Michigan scoreless last inning. Lou Allen has just been an absolute monster for this Michigan team so far this year, hitting .364, 9 home runs, 38 RBIs, 9 doubles. I mean, she can do it all.
Yeah, as you were talking about before, that walk-off home run not too long ago. Hit the scoreboard, and that just shows the display of power that she has.
Settling in now, the bat cocked over that right shoulder. First pitch changeup, misses low.
Even with having that power, she's still very disciplined at the plate.
Something Michigan does really well just
overall
as a team.
Yeah.
1-0 from Hitchcock. This one swung on, hit deep towards left field. This one back to the warning track. Looked good off the bat, but didn't quite have the distance. Tracking it down is Iliopoulos. So second pitch to Lou Allen was driven deep, but not deep enough. That's going to be first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up Taylor Bump.
Yeah, that's where you like to have that wind have a little bit more of an impact. Of course, with the softball, it doesn't have as much impact when it's barely moving, but when it's going, it will make a little bit.
Fresh count to Taylor Bump now as you watch his pitch number 1 go by, called strike 1. Popped up to shortstop her last time up, looking to drive something here in at-bat number 2. And the on-deck circle is Hannah Carson. Corners playing up a little bit. Pitch number 2 just misses inside, ball 1. That pitch looked almost identical to pitch number 1, but Obviously, Taylor Bump with a better angle than we have and much better plate discipline.
Yeah, I mean, that could have been easily called a strike, but good call by the ump.
She swings on pitch number 3 and pops it up foul over the net and then back out of the stadium. The count's going to be 1-2. Hitchcock out in front.
So far, this might be the best inning probably for Hitchcock right now. I know after that, those 2 runs in that first inning, last inning, got into a little trouble, was able to get out of it, and now here, been able to work pretty easily.
1-2 to Bump. This one just misses outside. Gets that eyes up there. Count's going to even out to 2-2. As you mentioned, Hitchcock doing a nice job last inning, just not getting phased, just keeping her composure after 2 infield singles in the first 2 batters up, Lexi Voss and Lauren Essman. 2-2 on the way to Bump. This one misses low, so working the full count here. Taylor Bump doing a nice job up there. 3-2 with 1 out and nobody on as the next pitch set to deliver.
Yeah, when you start seeing pitchers kind of getting nervous, it's when they start taking a little bit longer on the mound, but so far Hitchcock hasn't done that yet.
This one hit deep towards the left center gap. This one back to the wall and over! Full count, solo home run from Taylor Bump.
That got out in a hurry.
That one a line drive. That one sneaky little home run. I didn't think that one had the height to get over the wall, but Bump just showing off the power for home run number 9 this season. And Michigan extends the lead even further. 3-0 it sits.
Yeah, usually when you see a line drive home run, it's usually straight as it's pulled right there. But no, that thing was in the gap. I didn't think that was going to have a chance, but it definitely got over. Not by a lot, but it did.
Taylor Bump got absolutely all of that one. So Michigan puts another one on the board for their 6th hit so far in just the 3rd inning. That's going to bring up Hannah Carson with 1 out and nobody on. Pitch number 1 just misses low, ball 1. Taylor Bump just continues her impressive campaign this season. That's her 9th home run and 22nd RBI.
Just shows her power.
The 1-0 misses low and outside. It's going to be a hitter's count for Hannah Carson. Next pitch, 2-0.
I think what is so key as a catcher is to be a good batter at the same time. We've seen it in the past where there's some catchers that can be very good batters, but a lot of the time they're not as great as you'd like. But so Hannah Carson isn't that.
Carson gets after the 2-0 and dribbles it over to Taylor Lane at second base, makes the routine play. And that's going to be the 2nd out of this inning. So Julia Mena is going to look to do some work with 2 outs here.
Another good hitter, 325 hitter, 117 at-bats.
Good pitch from Ashley Hiscock there. Carson, her last time up, drove the ball pretty hard on the ground, and that time just gets her to roll over.
You know, it's kind of felt kind of strange the way Michigan's been hitting the ball and the way Ashley Hitchcock's played. It's kind of been up and down.
Fresh count to Jimenez. That one catches the outside corner, strike 1. She's been on a tear recently in the last series against Minnesota. It was just unstoppable at the plate. Went 4 for 5 one game with a home run. Settling back in now, the 0-1. This one just misses outside again. This zone has been tight and consistent.
Yes, it has. It was so outside, or actually it was barely outside. It was almost inside.
1-1 for Jimenez when she steps back in. The infield and outfield just playing pretty much straight up. Jimenez takes a big step, but watches pitch number 3 go way above her head. Count's going to be 2-1 over in the on-deck circle. Lexi Voss had an infield single her last time up. What looked like it should have been a routine fly ball, just dropped harmlessly to the dirt as second baseman Taylor Lane lost it in the sun. 2-1 to Jimenez, off speed, misses low, so it's going to be a hitter's count. Hitchcock, good idea there, just couldn't quite execute.
And the way Ashley Hitchcock's been pitching so far, you kind of get an idea that she's going to try to throw something closer in the zone. So I would try to swing if I was Julia Jimenez right now.
3-1 count, 2 out, nobody on. This one swung on, hit sky high in foul territory. Well out of play. Hitchcock might have gotten lucky there. Left that one over the plate a little bit, and Jimenez just way out in front.
Yeah, like I said, it's one of those things where you feel like so far today, Ashley Hitchcock, when she's felt behind, just try to put it to the plate to get a strike, but a little too much of the plate sometimes.
You know, Jimenez has power, 4 home runs, 18 RBIs in the season. Check swing, dribbles it in the dirt towards third base. It's going to be a close play, and she legs it out. Great awareness knowing that ball dropped in fair territory. That pitch was on the outside half of the plate. Jimenez threw a check swing at it, and it hit the very tip of her bat and just died, almost like a sneaky bunt.
Yeah, that was a very weird play right there, but it's not something you'll see every day, but it benefits her. She's probably laughing about that right now. It's like, I don't know if that was going to be a swing or not. Instead, she makes contact with the ball and gets a surprising hit out of it.
You saw with Stanley, Linkavage, and Hitchcock all just kind of caught off guard by that one as Lexi Voss pops pitch number 1 up fouled. None of them really moved until Jimenez was kind of well down the first baseline. Had they been, kind of locked in and just ready for that one, it would have been a routine play, but Julia Jimenez showing off the wheels and showing off her awareness.
Saw Carol Hutchins, the first base coach, as well, also giving some hitting tips right there for Laura Essman.
That one catches the foot of Lexi Voss, looks like, so she's going to head on down to first base.
I guess I did. I was kind of shocked as you when she was strolling down to first base. It might have just nicked her.
Michigan in a good spot here now with Lauren Essman coming up to the plate. We're going to have another mound meeting. Essman, the sophomore, will step up with 2 outs and 2 runners on. Jimenez in scoring position at second base and Lexi Voss over on first.
Excuse me, Lexi Voss. I was referring to her as Lauren Essman. I don't know why I was doing that.
Haley Hogenrod over in the on-deck circle. If Michigan could get back to the top of the order this inning, that would be huge. As some Jay-Z plays over the speakers, and looks like we're just about set to go again. Home plate umpire Brian Smith wipes off the plate. Everybody runs back to their respective positions, and looks like we're set to go here.
A little bit of a 2-out threat right here. This is where good teams can be very, very dangerous.
Fresh count to Essman. Big swing comes up empty. The off-speed caught her off balance a little bit, so Hitchcock out in front. 0-1 in this one. Essman, a very good hitter up there, hitting .329, 8 RBIs, 1 home run in the season. That 1 home run was an absolute monster shot.
Oh, yes.
She takes a big swing on this one and hits it foul. That solo home run, or lone home run, coming back in the series against Maryland. She pulled it right down this right field line here at Alumni Field and almost cleared the grandstands. I was calling that game, and let me tell you, the stadium was electric. 0-2 on the way from Hitchcock. Just missing outside. Essman showing good discipline up there.
Almost sometimes feels more electric than the big house sometimes. The way you can just feel the rumbles from the chairs down below when you're up here.
1-2 from Hitchcock on the way. 2 runners on, 2 outs. Check swing from Essman. They're going to appeal down to third base.
I guess she
went.
They're
going to say she went. From up here, it looked like her bat went through, so Rutgers escapes disaster with 2 outs, but not before Michigan puts a run on the board. We're going to head to the top of the 4th inning. Michigan up 3-0.
Getting a little bit of field attendance right now here in the infield. So raking sand.
Just maintaining the field. Megan Bobian going back out there for what will be her 4th inning of work in this one. So far has only given up 1 hit, a bloop single. Back to Haley Hockla-Tooby. A hit that, had the infield been playing at regular depth, probably would have been caught. Both Natalia Rodriguez and Julia Jimenez were playing up in anticipation of a bunt, and the ball just dropped right over their heads in shallow center field.
Yeah, there's not much trouble so far for Megan Beaubien today. There's been really kind of smooth sailing for her throughout these first 3 innings.
It's going to be 2-3-4 due up for the Scarlet Knights. It's going to be Gabrielle Calloway, followed by Kayla Bach, and then Kirsten with Stanley. As Hannah Carson throws on down to second base. We're set to go here in the top of the 4th inning. If you're just joining us, Michigan currently leads 3-0 over the Rutgers Scarlet Knights live here from Alumni Field. You are listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball. We'd like to thank you for tuning in. This game, as always, is being streamed on our YouTube channel, WCBN Sports, as well as our audio is being simulcast to BTN+. Here we go, settling back into that left-handed batter's box. For her second time up is Calloway. She watches pitch number 1 go by, a changeup for ball 1.
Definitely one of the only few times we've seen that lower pitch. Of course, she's trying to stay a little bit lower as we get later to the innings.
1-0 from Beaubien. Rides a little inside. Calloway jumps back. Count's going to be 2-0. Hitters count for her.
Usually when you're batting around to the next part of the order now, usually everyone's seeing your stuff now. You kind of want to change things up, keep it fresh, keep them off guard.
Calloway in her last time up popped up to Natalia Rodriguez. Potential to drive a pitch here with the 2-0 count. This one catches her leg, and she's going to head on down to first base. So Rutgers with their second base runner now. That one just got away from Beaubien a little bit.
Yeah, that's a benefit of playing closer to the plate as a hitter, is that you get the benefit of the doubt when the pitch comes near you, even if it nicks you.
That'll bring up Kayla Bach. So the freshman with potential to help her team out here with a runner on base. First pitch, just missing. That one looks like it was just below the knees of Bach. Calloway with decent speed at first base, not really a threat to steal, hasn't tried yet this season. This one hit high in the air towards center field. Lexi Blair getting her body under it and making the routine play, adjusting well to avoid the sun. We've seen it be a factor so far in this one. We saw back in the second inning, Taylor Lane letting that ball just drop right in front of her in the infield.
Yeah, there's just really been, it's about the first pitch I've seen go to the outfield today off of Megan Beaubien. So far so good still.
Kirsten with Stanley up to the plate now as she swings on pitch number 1 and pops it backwards over our heads. Foul out of the stadium. 1 runner on, 1 out. Rutgers still looking for their first run of this contest. It currently sits at 3-0 in favor of the Wolverines. Beaubien checks the wristband. Llewellyn playing up just in case a bunt does come. This one rides high again. Carson pops up and looks over towards first base, trying to keep her honest over there.
I think she's going to continue to stay up and away here. It's kind of benefited her a few times so far in this game.
1-1 count from Beaubien. This one, big swing, comes up empty with Stanley. Wanted all of that one, but just couldn't quite connect. So it's going to be a 1-2 count with 1 runner on and 1 out here from Beaubien. The infield playing back, then double depth and double play depth.
Yeah, sometimes that just playing a little bit higher kind of.
1-2, they check swing. They're going to peel down to first base, and they say she didn't go.
Yeah, sometimes that, like I was saying, when you're trying to pitch a little bit higher, you can get away with some of those pitches near closer to the plate down low because it kind of messes with the hitter's eye line where the ball is.
2-2 from Beaubien. This one just above the letters again. Kirsten with Stanley doing a nice job working this at bat. Full count now, 1 out.
Probably expect something a little bit more down, I'm guessing.
Beaubien nods yes to the sign from Hannah Carson, now to the glove. This one hit. Soft line drive towards Beaubien, but she drops it on her knee. Could she make the play at second base? And she couldn't. She had control of the ball, but
didn't throw it.
Looks like she was kind of fumbling around with it a little bit. It was an awkward play to start with. A soft line drive. She kind of had to run backwards and jump, throw the glove above her head. But both runners reached safely, so 2 runners on, 1 in scoring position. Rutgers in a very good position here with only 1 out. And Kiana Workman stepping up to the plate. We're going to have a quick meeting on the mound. Over in the circle is Natalia Rodriguez, Taylor Bump, and then Hannah Carson and Megan Beaubien. Julia Menez and Llewellyn having their own little conference over there between first and second base.
Yeah, it looked a little strange there. It just seemed like a routine pop-up to Megan Beaubien. Just missed it and then kind of fumbled around with the ball and just kind of slid a little awkwardly. Just trying to make sure she's all right.
Everyone looks to be okay. Both runners are going to retake their positions at second and first base, Callaway and with Stanley, respectively. So Kiana Workman, the shortstop, with potential to drive in some runs here. Rutgers still scoreless in this one, looking for their first one of this contest. That last one did go down as an error. Fresh count. First pitch misses just outside.
Even though this game's felt all Michigan so far, one swing always changes it right now. I know. That Kayla Bach is only hitting 220, so, but it doesn't make it makes a difference.
That pitch catches the outside corner. Beaubien doing a nice job fighting away back. The infield playing up a little bit. Lexi Blair in center field playing just on the block M.
Or excuse me, Kiana Workman.
1-1 on the way from Beaubien. Big swing comes up empty. 1-2 will be the count. Workman swung herself out of her shoes there. The back foot was sliding all over the place. If you're Workman, you don't need to do too much here.
No, I think it's just putting the ball in play somewhere to give your runners on base a chance.
The 1-2 misses outside. Carson doing a nice job sliding over there on the right knee to keep the runners at bay. 2-2 count for Workman. Over in the on-deck circle is Fawcett. The 2-2, big swing and a miss. Great off-speed pitch there from Megan Beaubien. The changeup dropped into the dirt. Hannah Carson doing a great job blocking it, and Workman just couldn't do anything with that one.
Yeah,
big, long swing, but to no avail.
Yeah, I haven't seen too many of those swings and misses down low, so definitely keeping it fresh up there for Megan Beaubien.
That'll bring up Fawcett. First pitch, off speed, goes right past the eyes, ball 1. Fawcett still in a position to do some damage with 2 runners on and 1 in scoring position. Rutgers can't afford to leave runners stranded with 2 outs here.
For her, it'd be the best time for her first home run.
1-0 from Megan Beaubien. That one rides inside and hits the left shoulder. Beaubien struggling a little bit with her command.
Yeah.
That's going to load the bases.
Would have to see how many pitches she's thrown so far.
So Fawcett wears that one on the front left shoulder. That's going to bring up Iliopoulos.
Pitch count's at 58 right now.
And this Iliopoulos in her last time up struck out swinging. It'd be a good time for that to happen again for Megan Beaubien. Bases loaded, 2 outs. First pitch just misses outside.
Of course, on the season, it's been pretty consistent for Megan Beaubien, and with the runners been only 190 on base.
Base is juiced. The 1-2 on the way, changeup right down the plate. Great pitch from Beaubien, just locking it back in. Iliopolis in a position to really do some damage. 2 runners in scoring position, bases loaded. But with 2 outs, the 1-1 on the way. Swung on and popped foul. Counts to be in complete favor of Bobby now as Lou Allen fields that one off the top of the booth. One, 2. Bases loaded, 2 outs and 2 strikes. Beaubien looking to get out of this one.
Expect to go low.
Change up, hit on the ground towards third base. Bump, fires across the diamond and makes the play. Michigan escapes disaster. Rutgers gets the bases loaded but leaves them all stranded. The Michigan defense not cracking.
Yeah, even though there's a couple hit batters and a walk, but I think they're all hit batters actually, yeah. There's still pretty good shape right now. I still feel feel pretty good confidence in them.
Due up for Michigan's going to be 9, then top. It's going to be Haley Hoganrod, followed by Lexi Blair and Natalia Rodriguez. Hoganrod laid down a beautiful sac bunt in her last time up. She's going to get the opportunity to swing away, though, with nobody out in front of her. Hoganrod hitting .234 this season, .227 as the leadoff batter, but right behind her, Lexi Blair and Natalia Rodriguez. Coach Jennifer Brundage has a quick few words with Megan Beaubien out there in front of the dugout. Ashley Hitchcock will go back out there for her 4th inning of work. Hitchcock outside of that first inning has looked very, very good.
Had that home run just last inning, but that was about it.
She kind of got tuned up for the first 2 batters, Lexi Blair and Natalia Rodriguez, hitting balls hard in the gap. And like you said, besides that home run from Taylor Bump, she's looked pretty solid. As with Stanley throws down to second base, we're set to go here in the bottom of 4. Michigan 3 runs on 7 hits. Rutgers still scoreless with only 1 hit on the other end. As I'm still standing, plays over the speakers. Haley Hoganrod takes her spot in that right-handed batter's box.
Being set right here again for the top of the 4th.
Hitchcock wipes the dirt off the mound and
or bottom 4th, excuse me.
Settles back in, checks the wristband, now to the glove, the windup. First pitch to Hoganrod just misses low, ball 1. Haley Hoganrod, great set of eyes up there, has worked 8 walks this season. 1-0.
Good eye.
One, again, missing low, just the other side of the plate. 2-0 hitters count for Hoganrod when she steps back in. The 5th year, elected to use her COVID year. Has made the most of it. 2-0 on the way to Haley Hoganrod. That one misses outside. 3-0 now. Hitchcock struggling to find the zone.
It seems like they've been pretty close, just not close enough. And I feel like early on she's a little bit afraid to put it anywhere near the plate because she was kind of burned when that happened early on.
Hoganrod most likely will just bail out, and yep, she lets that one go by, so it's going to be 3-1. Hitters count again.
Sometimes you're not afraid to throw the green light here on 3-1 to the batter.
Hoganrod with good speed up there at the plate. 3-1 on the way. This one low again. So Hitchcock misses 4 out of 5, and Haley Hoganrod scampers on down there to first base, and that's going to bring up Lexi Blair.
Leadoff runner is so big. Sometimes so big to try to advance them on the base paths at the same time.
Blair had a leadoff double in the bottom half of the first inning, and then in her last time up, a very rare strikeout, only her 7th of the season. Hoganrod over at first base has stolen 3 bases this year. Not afraid to go. She takes off on that one. She gets in there at second base. It's a close play, but great slide to the outside corner of the bag with Stanley. Threw it down there.
Yeah, and sometimes just do it yourself. Get the base stolen and put yourself into scoring position. That's perfect right there, because when you are very much still, it's still much a game. Kind of want to try to make that a grand slam or more distance. So getting a big runner here with no one out in second is perfect.
Pitch number 1 was a strike. Pitch number 2 in the check swing called a strike again. Most likely you see Lexi get up on the plate here and just go into protection mode. She
Went for 2 today, that double.
Called strike 3 in the outside corner her last time up. Obviously going to be very cognizant of this. Swings on this one and soft line drive over to shortstop. So Hoganrod will stay at second base. That's going to bring up Natalia Rodriguez. Good pitch there from Hitchcock, not giving Lexi Blair anything she could drive.
Yeah, definitely one of those pitches where it's a pitcher's pitch, but if you don't swing, you feel like you missed out on a chance.
Rodriguez 1 for 2, a double back in the first inning. Flew out to left field her last time up. Shows bunt but pulls back as it's up by her eyes. Ball 1.
Hoganrod kind of faked going to third there.
We've seen with Stanley only throw down to second base one time on that close bang-bang play at second base with Haley Hoganrod. So you know she has a good arm. 1-0 called strike at the knees. It's going to even back out at 11. Hitchcock trying to settle back in now. We saw her struggle in that first at-bat of this inning against Haley Hoganrod through 3 straight balls. Rodriguez
nice
lays down a bunt. It's going to be a close play at first base, and they just get her. Nice throw on the run from Linkavage.
Still a very good bunt. Against runner to third with 2 outs.
Rodriguez showing off the wheels there. Tried to lay down a sneaky bunt and leg one out, but Rutgers doing a nice job on the defensive end. That's going to bring up Lou Allen with a runner on third base and 2 outs. Lou 0 for 2 today. Grounded out and flew out in her first times up. Hit a hard line drive down the third base line, and what a play from Linkavage.
That's just unfortunate. That was a hard hit ball just right at the third baseman.
Lou Allen got absolutely all of that one, but right into the glove of Linkavage. Drops down on that left knee and fires over to first base. So Rutgers escapes again. We're going to head to the 5th inning. This game still in favor of the Wolverines. Score still sits 3-0. Going to be 8-9 top up for Rutgers. Haley Hochla-Tooby, followed by Taylor Lane, then Peyton Linkavage. After that, it'll be Galloway Bach with Stanley, Workman, Fawcett, Iliopolis before getting all the way back around. Beaubien struggled with her command a little bit last inning, hit a few batters, loaded the bases, but escaped without any damage. Rutgers leaves 3 runners stranded in top of 4.
We'll still give kudos to Rutgers. They've been trying to crowd the plate, and make the zone a little bit smaller for Megan Beaubien to try to get her to throw some more balls and kind of get a little shaky and try to throw some mistakes. And when they get some hit batters, it kind of benefits yourself, but they just couldn't pull through in that last inning.
The infield and outfield warm-up balls get thrown into Audrey LeClaire, and we're set to go here. As I said, Hochla-Tooby up first. Had a single in her only at-bat so far in the 3rd inning. Ended up getting stranded on second base.
It's back to square one for Megan Beaubien. Base is clear, no one out. Of course, we head to the top of the 5th here, and everything seems easy.
Corners playing up, in middle of the infield playing back. First pitch called strike. We saw on her last time up. The only hit of the day for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, that bloop single into shallow center field. Michigan's made the adjustment defensively not to let that happen again. The infield is playing up, so they didn't have time to get to it, but the middle of the infield playing back as this one's hit on the ground towards Megan Beaubien. Routine ground ball. 1 up, 1 down.
Easier for Megan Beaubien to grab that one this time. Compared to the last time, kind of botched a top up, but I feel like She looks pretty warmed up, pretty stretched out. She keeps moving that arm around to try to keep it fresh.
We're going to have a substitution for Rutgers. Coming up to the plate, looks like it's going to be number 5, Kobe Hura. Hura stepping up in place of Taylor Lane. Hura, the freshman out of Chino, California, watches pitch number 1 go by, called strike in the outside corner.
Sometimes with the way your season is for Rutgers so far, sometimes you want to get your freshmen out there to kind of get comfortable if they're going to be here a few years.
Hura, a 105 hitter on the season in her limited at-bats. Pitch number 2 fouled back into the net. Her only 38 at-bats so far this season, 4 hits, has scored 3 runs. Middle of the infield, playing back. 0-2 count.
It's always nice to learn from a very good pitcher like Megan Beaubien.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Beaubien not messing around with the freshman up there at the plate, just taking advantage of it.
Yeah.
That's going to be out number 2.
Don't be too ashamed if you're her right there. There was a good pitcher that just made some really good pitches, and you get some learning experience. It kind of helps you out in the long run.
That will bring up the top of the order, so Linkavich stepping up for her 3rd time up now against Megan Beaubien in this one. Swing and pop back up into the net. It's going to bounce back into fair territory and be strike number 1. Has popped up twice so far, both of them, to Julia Jimenez over there at second base. Takes a look over there at first base now. Settling back in now. 0-1 count on the way from Beaubien. Checks the wristband and now goes to the glove, and
whoa,
it slips out of her hand and rolls backwards.
Call that a ball. Thought that usually is a balk, but I guess it was just a ball.
Beaubien just completely lost that one and slipped backwards out of her hand and rolled towards second base.
We've seen some weird plays so far today, for sure.
So count will even out at 1-1 after the unusual pitch number 2. The 1-1 missing on the outside half. 2-1 will be the count. So Linkavich gets that free one on the second pitch. And now she's out in front. 2-1 sits the count. 2 outs, nobody on.
I think that was better than the last pitch before it.
2-1 from Beaubien. Change up down the middle. Great pitch, and we're even back out. Beaubien's had great control of her off-speed stuff today. When she struggled to find the plate, she's gone back to it and just kind of honed herself back in.
Yeah. And the good thing for Megan Beaubien is that one pitch that kind of got away, you probably won't have as bad of a pitch in your entire career like that.
2-2 rise ball goes a little high. Linkavich doing a nice job not getting fooled, so the count's going to go full. The sophomore looking to get on base here and keep her team alive with 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning here. Rutgers still scoreless. Michigan leads 3-0. Full count pitch to Linkavich. Swung on and missed, and Beaubien
dialed in right there is what I want to call that. That was a perfect pitch and just a better pitch than a swing.
Yeah, Beaubien gets her team back onto the offensive attack. We're going to head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Michigan still hungry for more. The lead only 3. Sits 3-0 live from Alumni Field. You're listening to WCBN Sports.
Give you an update on the baseball team. They're leading 6-2 as they head to the top of the 4th. They had a big, I believe, big 3rd inning, a 5-run 3rd inning. The bases loaded there.
Michigan going to look for 2 wins here in the baseball and softball complex. It's going to be 4-5-6 due up for the Wolverines. Taylor Bump, Hannah Carson, and Julia Jimenez, all of them 1 for 2 on the day. Bump with the big one back in the 3rd inning. A solo home run on an absolute missile of a hit in the left center gap. A line drive home run that got out in a hurry.
Yeah, and that was that was actually pretty nice to see, because when you usually think of home runs, you think of all power, but that's power and getting out in a hurry. I think those line drive home runs are some of the more impressive ones than the long distance ones.
Yeah, that one just brute strength to get that ball out and over the wall. Didn't really have time to carry with the wind. Just that one all Taylor Bump there.
Starting to see some clouds move in. It probably could affect the weather just a bit with a little bit more wind. Cool down here a little bit.
Luckily for the defense, that sun seems to have retreated behind the clouds. Most likely won't be a factor. Knock on wood. But here we go. Hitchcock back out there again. First pitch to Bump, rides high and inside, ball one. Taylor Bump on that home run at bat just did a great job of staying disciplined and waiting for a pitch she could drive, and when she got it, she did just that. 1-0 from Hitchcock. Off speed, catches the outside corner, 1-1 will be the count.
And a lot of that power comes from your legs, really, truly, to be honest. You kind of really have to swing through with your legs. Try to get as much behind that as you possibly can to try to travel out.
Third pitch of this at bat goes low. Count will be 2-1. Michigan having a much more productive day at the plate than Rutgers. Michigan 7 for 17, hitting .412 today. Rutgers only 1 for 16. 2-1 to Taylor Bump. This one swung on, popped up, foul territory. Rutgers trying to cover a lot of ground, and getting over to it is Iliopoulos. She covered
a lot of ground.
A ton. Coming from back near the warning track to catch that one by the block M.
Had some speed there. Some wheels.
So Bump will head back to the dugout, and Hitchcock tallies the first out of this inning. That'll bring up Hannah Carson. Had a single back in the first inning and an RBI. Grounded out her last time up, rolled over to second base. This one hits soft towards second base again. She's going to try to leg it out. Close play, and she's safe.
Wow. That's a great job of legging that out. That was going to be a tight play all the way. Just a soft, low dribbler up back to the second baseman and just couldn't get quite enough.
After her a pinch hit for Taylor Lane, Lane came back out on the defensive end, so she's over there at second base in her original position. Carson doing a nice job not giving up on that one. That's going to go down as an infield single, so Michigan with their 8th hit of the afternoon.
What you got to like about softball so much is that you can see a lot of infield singles.
Fresh count to Jimenez. That one catches the outside corner, strike one. 1 out and 1 runner on for Michigan here. In the on-deck circles, Lexi Vall. She's 1 for 1 on the day.
I feel like always the best earned singles are the ones you have to leg out.
Spinning the ball in the right hand now to the windup. That one missing low and outside, 1-1. Mena is just like Lexi Blair, very rarely strikes out, has great plate discipline, only 7 strikeouts on the season.
1 for 2 also today.
Carson with decent wheels over there at first base as Jimenez ropes this one foul over towards the parking lot and
might have hit a car.
Way out in front of that one. Pulled that one about 100 feet foul, so she's going to settle back in with a 1-2 count. Hitchcock out in front.
Of course, they are softballs, so it might not have done too much damage.
No action down there in the Rutgers bullpen. 1-2 is swung on and popped up foul the other way towards the Michigan bullpen.
Haven't really seen too many foul that way so far today.
Count's going to stay the same. We do have some action now down there in the bullpen. Looks like Hura ran down there. 1-2 count on the way to Julia Jimenez. This one, hard line drive over towards the Rutgers dugout. They'll duck out of the way, but bounces off the screen. Jimenez doing a great job just fighting through this one. Hannah Carson still over there at first base. Lexi Voss still in the on-deck circle. The sun is came out behind the clouds, so it's back in play. 1-2 on the way. big swing, gets her chasing, and sits her down. Jimenez goes down swing and chased that one up by her eyes.
Might have been the best at bat for Ashley Hitchcock today because got her really fooled right there on that pitch.
That'll bring up Lexi Voss with Hannah Carson still over there on first and 2 outs. Voss an infield single in her first time up, a hit by pitch in her last time up in the 3rd inning. Watches pitch number 1 go by at the knees, called strike 1. First action for either team in the bullpens we've seen. Be interesting to see how much longer Hitchcock goes. Pitch count is now surpassed 80 rather. That pitch goes by for ball 1.
And that's where you start to look for signs of tiredness as a coach. The little things is like taking a little bit more time, and if the ball's not quite getting to the place where it's supposed to be.
1-1 check swing went all the way through. Voss frustrated with that one.
Yeah, that's one that you kind of hope to hold off from, especially with the pitcher with 80-plus pitches. Expect to kind of try to hold off on more pitches when you're at the plate.
1-2 on the way. Same rise ball, but Voss not fooled this time. Count will even back out at 2-2. Michigan obviously has that 3-run lead, but looking to extend that just a few more insurance runs.
I think it's always big to try to get those insurance runs this late in the game.
2-2 on the way. This one hit hard back right towards Hitchcock. Off her glove. Fires it over to first base. It's going to be a close play, and they say she got her.
Wow, that was close.
From up here, it looks like Voss legged that one out, and with all the close plays we've seen today, that one comes as a surprising call. The Michigan faithful in the stands not happy with that one.
Didn't get quite a good jump from after hitting that pitch right there. Thought she was going to be able to leg that out, but I guess not so.
So Michigan leaves another runner on, and we're going to head to the top of the 6th inning. Michigan still out in front, 3-0, but unable to tack on those extra ones there. Rutgers still in search of their first run. Michigan 3 runs on 8 hits. Rutgers no runs on only 1. As I said, we're now heading to the top of the 6th inning. You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball. Defensive lineup for the Wolverines still the same. Megan Bobian back out there in the circle. Most likely you'll see her go the distance.
Yeah, that's usually not a shocker to see her go the distance for a lot of the games. They're impressive stats so far this year. 3 home runs given up this year by Megan Bobian. 1 triple, 15 doubles. That's really good stats for a pitcher.
Most likely we'll see Bobian at least one more time this weekend. As I said, 4-game weekend series. 1 today, 2 tomorrow, 1 on Sunday.
Hey, you got to feel nice that maybe those double headers are about done if you're a team like Michigan, at least until the regionals, that is.
If you had to ask me for my opinion, most likely it'll be Alex Storako in Game 1 tomorrow, Bobian in Game 2, and then Storako again on Sunday. This 1-2 punch, and it's really been a 1-1 punch for Michigan. Both their pitchers have just been absolute aces this season.
Yes, absolutely. You always wonder, what's it going to be like when you're playing out of conference? I think that's been the question with these schedules this year, the Big Ten, all Big Ten schedules. Can you compete against these other teams outside of your state, outside of your conference? And that's going to be pretty big, I think, to watch. I think that's going to make a more interesting College World Series this year.
So Gabrielle Calloway, the first Scarlet Knight, due up here in the top of the 6th. Was hit by a pitch in her last time up as she watches pitch number 1 go by, called ball 1. Oh for 1 today. Popped up to shortstop in her first time up, and like I said, got hit by a pitch her last time up back in the 4th inning. Watches the second straight pitch go by. It's going to be a hitter's count for her, 2-0.
Seen Megan Beaubien fall behind a lot today, but definitely hasn't phased her. She's been able to come right back into the count and be able to make some really good pitches.
2-0 hits her again. So,
as I said that.
Oh, looks like it actually hit the nub of her bat.
Yeah. No. Rutgers coach wants an explanation right there.
Rutgers coach comes down saying that it hit her elbow guard. Umpire not wavering and interested to see what the call is here. It says 3 balls up on the scoreboard, so we'll have to get some word on that. But it looks like the count right now sits at 3-0 as Beaubien rifles that one in for strike number 1.
If it was a ball, you'd think it would have hit them. Hit the nub of the bat, should be a foul ball.
This pitch swung on, line drive over to first base, and great play by Lou Allen.
Jeez.
Diving to her backhand and making the play over at first base.
You know what? She's such an athletic player for a first baseman. You don't see a lot of first basemen that are really athletic, but she really can stretch out there and steal some hits away.
The word on the confusion there, Galloway's arm was stretched outside of the box over the plate, so that's why the hit by pitch was just counted as a ball. But Michigan happy with the result. Lou Allen makes a nice athletic play. That's going to be the first out of the inning as pitch number 1 to Kayla Bach goes low and outside, ball 1.
Definitely learned some new things today and seen some plays I don't think I'll ever see again in the game, so I just think it adds to the mystery of the game.
1-0 change up from Beaubien, just missing high across the plate, a little bit above the letters. It's a little bit of an awkward angle for left-handed hitters from this side. Obviously, we're stationed over on the first base side. 2-0 hitters count to Bach. That one catches the outside corner. Beaubien coming right back at her, strike 1.
Definitely playing with a wider stance. That definitely means she's trying to put the ball in a line somewhere around the outfield there.
2-1 to the freshman. This one swung on and missed, low and outside. Carson popped out of her glove, but she picks it right back up. Big swing from Bach there, but
only 1 hit for Rutgers today, so they're just looking for base runners to try to get something going.
Michigan going to look to try and get back on the offensive attack as soon as they can. It's going to be 8-9 top due up for them. 2-2 is hit. Foul off the net. Bach way out in front of that one.
It's a good swing, just didn't quite time it as right. And that's what Megan Beaubien's done well so far today. She's been able to keep hitters off guard, definitely off timing in any type today.
Beaubien checks the wristband, now takes a deep breath and goes to the windup. 2-2 swung on and missed. Great pitch for Megan Beaubien. So 2 up, 2 down here in the top of 6.
Megan Beaubien definitely making things look easy, as usual.
With Stanley, the catcher, now stepping into the box, trying to get her team going here with 2 outs. Rutgers kind of running out of time here. First pitch bounces all the way to the plate. Carson blocks that one.
Sometimes later in the pitch count, when you feel comfortable and it's later in the game, you kind of see some of those pitches kind of bounce up to the plate.
1-0 on the way. This one off the handle. Over towards shortstop. Natalia Rodriguez fires across the diamond. Lou Allen doing a nice job to scoop that one up. And Michigan.
That's a great job.
Very efficient on the defensive end. They're going to go back out on the offensive end here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
That was a great job by the third baseman letting the shortstop pick that up, because I don't think she would have got him if she picked it up. And be able to throw a heck of a strike and a great athletic stretch there by Lou Allen at first base.
I mean, you practice those for a reason. Taylor Bump probably could have gotten that ball if she had gone backwards for it, but just cut straight across the diamond. She didn't get there. Natalia Rodriguez filled her steps, fielded it cleanly, replaced the feet. I mean, that's just textbook defense for Michigan.
Absolutely. That's communication at its finest, and it's what you work on in practice all the time.
Hitchcock will be back out there for her 6th inning of work. As I said a couple moments ago, it's going to be 8-9 top due up for Michigan.
It could possibly be their last inning, I'm guessing, of the day. You never know, but for their sake, they're probably hoping.
Excuse me, looks like it's going to be 7-8-9. It's going to be Kirsten, then Essman, then Hoganrod. Sierra Kirsten, first time we've seen her today.
It's been one of those games where I think you feel like you started out well if you're Michigan, but you kind of slumped a little bit here in the past couple innings. Not been able to take advantage of much. Give credit to Ashley Hitchcock for settling in. But if you're Michigan, you kind of want to get a confidence booster going into tomorrow by trying to push across another run. Definitely get some insurance for the 7th inning.
First time we've seen Sierra Kirsten today. She'll step up to the plate now in that left-handed batter's box. Her first at bat. First pitch from Hitchcock, low in the dirt, ball 1. Kirsten, a .226 hitter on the season. 21 hits and 93 at-bats. Settling back in now. Hitchcock checks the wristband, now to the windup. That one right down the plate, called strike 1. Count will even back out 1-1.
Definitely being patient again at the plate. Michigan was being a little bit more aggressive the past couple innings, swinging, but again, taking some pitches again.
The 1-1. That one catches the outside corner off speed. Count will go 1-2.
Definitely some good pitches there by Ashley Hitchcock. Staying a little bit away, especially when she's crowding the plate.
Hoganrod in the on-deck circle. That one high and outside, ball 2, kind of leaving back out. Hoganrod, as I said, on deck. Lexi Blair in the leadoff spot in the hole. Michigan just looking to tack on a few insurance runs here. 2-2 to Kirsten, hit deep towards right field, back to the wall, and
caught
robbed right at the wall.
Right above the yellow line, it looked like, and caught it right there.
Taylor Fawcett had her back to the wall. Glove reached above the yellow line. Had she missed that one,
not by a lot.
Had she missed that one, would have been a home run for Sierra Kirsten. Big swing, pulled it to right field, just didn't quite have the juice to get out.
Yeah, that one caught a little too much of the plate, and that's the beneficiary of hogging the plate as a lefty. Get sometimes the benefit of the doubt and get one to pull to the pull field.
Hoganrod stepping up to the plate now. She swings on pitch number 1 and pops it up, following her 2 plate appearances today. Had a sac bunt back in the 2nd inning. Walked and ended up stranded on third base back in the 4th.
See that long stride of a stance.
0-1, watches it go by. Up near her eyes, count's going to go 1-1. Michigan just 3 outs away on the defensive end from closing this one out and taking game 1 of the 4-game series. Lexi Blair waiting patiently over in the on-deck circle. That one rides inside, ball 2, pops out of the glove with Stanley. The wind has picked up a little bit, blowing out towards center field, so
yeah,
be interesting to see if that comes into play.
Yeah, Hoganrod doesn't have an at-bat registered to her today, really.
The 2-1 catches the outside corner. It's going to even back out, so Hogenrod going to have to protect the plate here with 2 strikes. Hitchcock has tallied 3 strikeouts on the day. 2-2. That one up by the eyes of Hogenrod. It's going to go full.
Definitely starting to hear that Michigan dugout trying to pump up. Yeah. Hogenrod right there to try to get on base here.
First time we've really heard the Michigan dugout today. It's been
Yes.
Rutgers bringing all the energy, but full count is hit towards left field. Hogenrod got under it and popped it up. Back by the warning track is Iliopoulos. So 2 deep fly balls for Michigan, but neither.
Gotta like the swings, though. Those were very good swings, and they just missed them, just not by much.
That will bring up Lexi Blair. Had the first hit for Michigan today. Kind of got things rolling back in the bottom of the first inning. That double, she scored on the next double from Natalia Rodriguez. Struck out looking her second time up and popped up to shortstop her last time up in the 4th.
And she can definitely go long ball, too.
Big swing at pitch number 1. Comes up empty. Count will be 0-1.
6 home runs on the year. It's hard to believe with her speed. She only has 1 triple, though.
0-1 is the count. The windup. Check swing, catches the outside corner. Lexi now in a big 0-2 hole.
Best thing for a batter in this situation is not to feel nervous or anything. Take what you're given.
0-2 to Blair. This one hit hard up the middle. That one's going to drop into the glove of Taylor Lane. She got there to stop it from getting to the outfield, but not in time. Lexi Blair reaches on a single.
Well, that's just textbook by Lexi Blair, just being able to take what's given to her. That caught a lot of the plate. And so you don't try to do too much with it. You just pop it right back where it came from. And with her speed, there's no problem for getting on.
2 outs, and Talia Rodriguez stepping up to the plate now. Lexi Blair over on first. Wouldn't be surprised to see Blair steal second base here. She's perfect on the season, 11 stolen bases.
Yeah, there's not much risk in doing it either. I mean, yeah, I might get the final out of the inning, but you're up 3-0. You're just trying to get some insurance runs at this point.
Putting a runner in scoring position, obviously, would be very helpful here. Fresh count to Natalia Rodriguez. Blair took a few hard steps.
Low outside.
With Stanley very conscious of Lexi Blair's speed over there on second base.
Under 3 is a pitch count now for Ashley Hitchcock. So she could be trying to get out of this final inning, or at least this inning right now. But if this game continues, don't expect her to try to continue.
Rodriguez settling in now. The 1-0 on the way. Blair goes. Throw down to second base. And they got her. What a throw from with Stanley. Lexi Blair gets caught stealing for the first time this year. That throw, just an absolute dime.
Yeah, it was a perfect place to put that. Put that pitch right on the nose. If that gets put anywhere near further to the left, I think Lexi Blair gets that stolen easily.
Yeah, if that Lexi got tagged a few feet shy of second base. I mean, if that ball gets thrown right to the bag, I think she reaches safely, like you said, but perfectly thrown ball from with Stanley. So we're going to head to the top of 7. Michigan leaves a runner on. Michigan just 3 outs away from taking this one. For Rutgers, it's going to be Workman, Fawcett, and Iliopoulos 5, 6, 7, followed by Hocklatubi and Taylor Lane 8, 9. Megan Bobian just looking to push her way through this lineup.
Try to get a victory here for Michigan in the opening game of the series.
Rutgers still with only 1 hit on the afternoon and no runs. The lead for Michigan is 3.
Meanwhile, Michigan baseball right now leading 9-2 in the 6th inning. Or bottom of the 5th inning, actually, right now.
hear some "Let's Go Blue" chants from the crowd and from the dugout. Kiana Workman will be the first up. Workman hitting .218 on the season, has struck out twice swinging so far in this contest. Everybody playing straight up here. Sierra Kirsten is out on the defensive end in left field. Beaubien taking her time, checks the wristband, now goes to the windup. Pitch number 1 of the 7th inning is hit backwards into the net. Foul ball, strike 1.
Game has been pretty dang quick today. No problems for a lot of the innings. It's been pretty quick half innings.
Pitch number 2, change up, dribbled down the third baseline, foul. This game just surpassed an hour 45. As you said, this game going by real quick.
Usually that means pitchers are dialed in and are doing their thing, not getting into too much trouble in each inning.
0-2 from Beaubien, swung on and missed. Workman sat down for the third time today. Her third strikeout of the afternoon. Beaubien just 2 outs away now from wrapping this one up and heading home with a victory.
Taking it like a piece of cake right there. That's just all in a good day's work for Megan Beaubien.
Taylor Fawcett now up to the plate. Swings on pitch number 1 backwards into the net. Was hit by a pitch in her last time up in the 4th inning.
Megan Beaubien, 7 strikeouts today.
Looking for more.
184 on the year. That's an incredible amount.
0-1 count. Rise ball goes high in the zone. 1-1. Wind has died down. The flag in center field barely moving. Over in the on-deck circle is Iliopoulos. This one hit on the ground towards second base. Julia Jimenez doing a nice job getting over there, getting herself around the ball, and making the routine play. So 2 outs.
A little bit of a tough hop, but handled that really nicely. Was able to get her in plenty of time.
That ball hitting the gap between Jimenez and Lou Allen, doing a nice job of, like I said, getting back, getting her hips around the ball. So with 2 outs, that's going to bring up Anissa Iliopoulos. 0 for 2 on the day, a strikeout in the 3rd, grounded out her last time up. She swings on this one and pops it up into no man's land. Jimenez trying to cover a lot of ground, but can't quite get there. That one's going to drop down. Pretty much the exact same place that Haley Hocklatubi had her hit.
Yeah, and that's kind of that benefit of not playing as close to second base and having to cover a lot of ground.
So Rutgers stays alive. Tallies their 2nd hit of the afternoon.
Even having a little bit of hope if you're the Rutgers is just enough to hopefully help yourself get maybe even a run.
Fresh count on the way to Hocklatubi. Ball 1.
Of course, if you're Megan Beaubien, you don't feel really any pressure on you right now. Everything's been going pretty swell and feel pretty confident in your stuff.
1-0 to Hocklatubi. This one high and outside. It'll be hitter's count 2-0. The one thing with Beaubien today is that, yeah, she's only given up 2 hits, but neither have been hit hard. She hasn't really given up any hard contact at all.
That's perfect today. I think it's because she's keeping her stuff really mysterious right now.
2-0 from Beaubien. This one swung on and popped up in the infield. Natalia Rodriguez settles under it. And that's going to do it for game number 1. Michigan comes out on top, 3-0. Megan Beaubien, a 2-hit, scoreless performance on the mound. She was pretty dominant besides, 1 or 2 inning here or there. She struggled with command a little bit, but Rutgers just didn't have the answer for her. 7 strikeouts on the afternoon, and Michigan takes game 1 over Rutgers.
Yeah, and give credit to Michigan early on from taking advantage of some miscues by Ashley Hitchcock at on top of the mound in that first inning. And even in that third inning, a great home run by Taylor Bump, an impressive one. But really today, I think the story's been Megan Beaubien just doing her thing as usual, getting people to swing and miss and not really getting any danger by getting pretty quick outs and pretty easy outs.
Yeah, Michigan got out to an early lead, 2 runs in the first inning. Lexi Blair had that leadoff double, got knocked in by Natalia Rodriguez's double, and then she scored off the single from Hannah Carson, and then their third and final run coming in the bottom of the third inning with a solo shot in the left center gap from Taylor Bump. Michigan pretty much just entirely in control on both ends throughout this entire contest. 3 runs on 9 hits. Rutgers scoreless on 2 hits. But all in all, a great, impressive outing.
Big Ten softball champions for another year. They're definitely looking like it right now. Definitely getting a pep talk from Juwan Howard down there, who's in attendance today.
Great day for some softball as the sun continues to shine after this one. Michigan, like I said, takes game 1. 2 more games tomorrow morning from Alumni Field. I will be on both of those calls. But that will do it for WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball here today. I have been Charlie Brigham alongside me, Ryan Buchmann. We're going to thank you for listening and leave you like we always do with a good night and a go blue.